Well, you read my book and it's all given there.
You have been awarded with Padma Shri Award.
Yes, just this year.
Namaskar and a very warm welcome to everyone joining in today. You are listening to Lituarta, which is a podcast initiative brought to you by School of Languages. I am Shriya, your host for today. Joining us today is one such persona who's not just a thinker, he's also a teacher, a performer, and a guide. Joining us today is Padma Shri Professor Bharat Gupta, who is one of India's finest classicists, theatre theorists, and musicologists. He is a scholar who moves from Sanskrit to Shakespeare, and he moves between Bharat Muni's Natya Shastra and Aristotle's Poetics, and Sitar to Surbahar. We are honored to have you here in our department, sir. Thank you so much. It's an honor for all of us, our audience, and me. We have read your works, we have heard a lot about you, and we are deeply inspired to have you here. And we are looking forward to this enlightening session with you. This particular conversation has different segments. The first segment is called Beginnings and Inspirations. And the very first question goes like this. Sir, you were born in Moradabad and then you moved to Delhi. Sir, what were those things which drew you towards literature as, minor straws or inspirations, which brought you in literature initially or in the field of academia, maybe
All right.
philosophy? Please share.
Well, I'm very glad to be here in your department and to make my offering at your podcast.
Thank you, sir.
I'm told that this is your first podcast. So
Yes, sir.
I'm doing something like an opening batsman. Huh?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I'm very happy. Now, to your question as to what brought me into philosophy or the arts. Well, as I said this morning in your beautiful Senate Hall, that I don't really know. Maybe it was some kind of a Purva Janma Sanskar.
Yes.
Maybe it was some inner inclination. But I think all this happened because of some family influences. You see, my uncle was a great aficionado of Indian classical music, Hindustani. So he was learning music. He would invite great artists to his home. Sometimes we had concerts, the old style all-night concerts.
Yes, sir.
And then, of course, there was All India Radio in those times playing classical music throughout the day. Somewhere or the other, on some radio station, you could hear. So I was raised in that sound of classical music. And that was a big influence.
The environment was very, very present there.
Then my father was fond of reciting Sanskrit shlokas. So that was another big influence. I think at the age of 7, I had, mugged up the whole Bhagavad Gita. And when I went to school, I was very lucky. The school called Cambridge School in Delhi, it had for principal a wonderful Bengali gentleman called A.C. Deb, who was simply full of Shakespeare, Rabindranath Tagore, poetry, and inspiring the young boys and girls.
So he offered a plethora of people he knew.
So yes, so he was very much interested in my learning things, and in those times, you see, even in class 8 or 9, they would teach you Shakespeare in original, Elizabethan English Shakespeare, and sometimes we were made to play a little scene. So that gave me another insight.
Yes.
So Hindustani music,
Yes. Sanskrit.
Sanskrit, bit of it,
English.
Tulsidas,
Yes.
Rabindranath, Sir Walter Scott, Shakespeare. What else do you need?
A good collection indeed.
You need nothing else.
Now, moving on to the second question. So you studied four different subjects as to like if we list them, which is English, Hindi, Sanskrit, and philosophy. So they are completely four different worlds. So how do they merge as one in your life? Like, what is it that makes you?
No, you see, they are different languages, but literature or sahitya is one. So if you develop a sense for literature or poetry or drama, then you can cultivate that sense in any language.
Yes, sir.
Provided you know the language. So that's how they were all complementary.
Okay.
So in a way, they were different worlds. There was the world of English.
Yes.
And in my college days, there was a whole class of elite boys. I went to a boys' college, St. Stephen's College, which used to be only a boys' college.
It used to be.
And it was a very snooty college for upper class bureaucratic kids. And I was a middle class boy whom they thought very lowly of.
Yeah.
But I knew more Shakespeare than they did. So, you know, they had an inferiority complex, not me. And I learned all these things. And at college also, I had some very great teachers who loved me. I mean, my greatest fortune in life has been good teachers.
Indeed.
I think I was gifted by good teachers. There is nothing more that I can thank the Almighty for, anything else.
And teachers in our culture are placed
that He gave. Yes, I have literally experienced all my life Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, and from very, very young age. Yeah.
I understand, sir. That was a beautiful answer, sir. Moving on to the third question, it is, sir, was there a single moment in your this journey in academia, considering literature, since you have done your research work on Greek dramatic traditions and Indian dramatic traditions? Was there a single moment which ever pushed you or made you think or made you compare Indian dramatic traditions and Greek dramatic traditions?
Okay. A very perfectly relevant question, and also very essential in a department of English literature. You see, I started with English honors.
Yes.
I finished it. I finished an MA. And then I started, after a while in Canada and America, I came back to Delhi and started teaching in Delhi University. Now, I was given to teach Greek poets, dramatists, Greek theater.
Yes.
Now, as I read them, I thought that they were something very different from Shakespeare or European, Ben Jonson and all that. Now, at the same time, I had started learning the text called the Natya Shastra from a very famous guru who knew the text inside out, who was a sannyasi, a swami, a scholar of Sanskrit, a yogi, and a musician, classical musician, before he became a sannyasi called Swami Kripalu. Yes. So then I studied with him for almost 7 to 8 years the Natya Shastra in the traditional style. Now, just as Natya Shastra opened up to me,
Yes, sir.
and I saw the world of it, then I could see at that time that Greek plays were not what the English thought to be. This morning I told you
Yes,
that they
sir.
had a very limited, when
They
they
had a limited
revived their,
approach.
Sir Philip Sidney and all that. They had a very
Perspectives.
limited idea of what was Greek. But then I could see, having seen
Natya Shastra.
the Natya Shastra and consequently having understood the world of Indian performance. And most important, I was also learning to play the sitar under a famous teacher, Pandit Umashankar Mishra. So all these things were coming to me as a practical understanding, not just as a study in theory, but as something you experience. You do a sadhana.
Yes.
You do it because I had to practice 4 hours a day on my sitar, and I had to study, and so that gave me the experience of the theory as practice.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Yeah, so it became a more realistic and lifelong experience. Thank you, sir. Moving on to the next question. Sir, you spent time abroad in the US and then later Canada. Sir, how do you see the time you spent there? Like, did that time period deepen your sense towards home, towards Indian culture? Did it deepen your sense of home, or how it made, if it made any changes in your perspective to the Indian culture or our culture in general?
Well, it certainly deepened, because when you go to another culture, then you compare what you are yourself with the other world. At the same time, you see the other culture as not your culture. So both redefine each other.
Absolutely.
In terms of your encounter.
Yes.
Now, I did go to America in '69 to do a PhD, and I started college there. But I had, before I went, I had done an MA in American literature. And since childhood, I was familiar with America because one of my uncles had migrated to America in 1952. So he would send me pictures, write letters. So as I grew up as a child, I had visual impressions of Yellowstone National Park and the Niagara Falls. And the land and the beauty of all this was part of my knowledge. And when I went there, I saw that, and then I knew the people, I knew their history, I knew the culture, and I knew that the culture is immature, that the culture is rough, and the culture is not what it pretends to be.
It's not the final pinnacle.
And in the university, I found that it was a waste of time for me because I had read all those books back home. In my St. Stephen's College, I had read Nietzsche and Kierkegaard and whatever was fashionable there in 1969. So academically, it was a waste of time. But this is late 60s. When America was undergoing a big change. This is the counterculture days. This is, the hippie movements and all those things. They were happening at that time. That was a big experience. And I could see that a whole section of youth and poets and writers, etc., they were interested in India. And Pandit Ravi Shankar had seized America by his music.
Sure did.
And great performers were
Hmm.
creating an impact, and yogis had started going. So this impact was also
A big
there,
experience.
and I noticed it, and it was a matter of great, deep discussion within me as to what is really happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you miss India there?
No, then I moved on to Toronto.
Mm.
I finished another MA there,
Mm.
but I decided not to continue for a PhD.
Mm.
I gave up the PhD. They also offered me admission to Sanskrit PhD,
Okay.
but I told very gratefully the professor there that this is the language of my motherland and I'd rather study it back home.
True.
And I had great teachers
Back here.
back home. So I came back in early 72, late 71, and I started teaching in Delhi University in 72.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you for that answer, sir. Now, the last question for this segment, which is, sir, you have learned how to play sitar and surbahar, which are
True.
two very good instruments, like one of their kinds. And sir, they are not just instruments in general. Even if we see our culture, they're not just instruments. They are symbols, or even within their own existence, they are like meditations, right? So, what made you choose them, and what role do they play in your life? How close to you?
Yes, first of all, it is a sadhana. And when you do any sadhana, then it gives its own reward. So doing music was a sadhana, first. Secondly, the world of music opens up for you, and it becomes part of your mind, body, soul, whatever. Secondly, if you understand one art form, then you are able to appreciate deeply other art forms. So I came to know music. I already had literature in my mind. And then I could understand theater, the depth of theater, the different kinds of theater that are prevalent in the world. So all this helped me to become a real good professional theater theorist.
Yeah,
And I learned Greek language then all my own, so that I could read quite a bit of things with the help of a dictionary in original Greek. So whatever I studied, I tried to study it as authentically as possible.
Welcome back, everyone. This is segment 2 called The Scholar and the Artist. In this one, we will explore how the world of performance for Professor Bharat Gupta and his art, they come together. His scholarship and his performance merge as one. Sir, you were trained by some really great and well-known teachers like Swami K.C. Brahaspati, Swami Kripalvanand, and Pandit Umashankar Mishra ji.
That's right.
Sir, can you share a lesson or a teaching of theirs which has remained throughout with you, or which has stuck with you, in this journey of yours?
Yes, they were all three different personalities. They were masters in their own field, but related field, but very specially different.
Okay.
Now, let's take Swamiji, Swami Kripalvanand. He was a yogi. Essentially, he was a yogi.
Okay.
He spent most of his time in sadhana, quiet, private, yogic sadhana. But then he taught me texts of yoga, like Hiran Samhita and Hatha Yoga Pradipika and all, and the whole theory. because he was a man of experience. So he understood the Shastra. And he was able to tell me so many things which normally people don't even understand. So I had that great advantage. And he was also a disciple of the famous Ustad Fayyaz Khan of Baroda. Before he took sannyas, he was a professional musician. So he was able to tell me what is the heart of music and what is music for, and also the theory of music. The theoretical part of Natya Shastra, chapter 28 to 33, in which the fundamentals of Indian music are given. So he taught me that. And he inspired me about Indian temple architecture and many things. And then he gave me some very practical advice. He said, कलाकार भी योगी है, आप ये समझ कर चलिए, शास्त्र चिंतन भी ध्यान है. अगर आप निरंतर शास्त्र के बारे में सोचते हैं, बात करते हैं, तो वो ध्यान से कम नहीं. आत्म संयम से ही उत्कर्ष होता है. So you must lead a highly disciplined life. And when you decide on something, you should do it all on your own after deep thought. तो ये ऐसे हुआ. अब आचार्य बृहस्पति जो थे, उन्होंने मुझे नाट्यशास्त्र पढ़ाया, संगीत के सिद्धांत पढ़ाए. उनकी जो पुस्तक थी उसका मैंने अनुवाद किया. क्या कहते हैं, उनकी एक संस्कृत में व्याख्या 28वें अध्याय पे थी, तो उसका मैंने अनुवाद किया अंग्रेजी में संस्कृत से. तो एक तो वो हुआ, और फिर नाट्यशास्त्र पढ़ाया उन्होंने. ये जो पढ़ाना था ये ट्रेडिशनल स्टाइल में था जी. जैसे शास्त्र को पढ़ा जाता है कि आप एक एक श्लोक करके पढ़ते हैं, उसको समझते हैं, फिर उस पर शंका करते हैं, फिर प्रश्न करते हैं, फिर डिस्कशन करते हैं. जब तक सारे डाउट्स क्लियर नहीं हो जाते आप दूसरी कारिका या श्लोक पर नहीं जाते. तो ये एक डीप 1-to-1 लर्निंग है.
You had got to explore the depth.
So I had the great fortune of learning it from him. और पंडित उमाशंकर जी से तो पूरी तालीम आलाप जोड़ झाला गत सितार की ली. और फिर उसके बाद सुरबहार मैंने थोड़ा अपने आप किया. और असद अली खां एक बीनकार थे, कुछ उनसे तालीम ली. तो इस तरह से ये मेरा रहा जी.
Sir, you have been shaped by both Indian and European educational systems, right?
That's right.
As a person and as a teacher, or maybe as a scholar, how do you maintain the balance between both the sets?
There is no conflict. You see, maintaining a balance arises when one is pulling it in one direction and the other is pulling in another direction. But if you have your own in-depth knowledge, then you would find that some of the fundamental questions of human existence are the same.
Okay.
So you say, well, this has been dealt with here in this tradition, in this way, in another tradition. So this is complementary. In some ways, there is a contradiction.
Yes.
Because there are some values which are radically different or even opposing values. Like so much of Europe and America is based on the Christian paradigm, which is not a paradigm of love, as they say, but of aggression. Because it's based in conquest
Yes.
and exclusive thought. That my father and my Masiha knows the truth, nobody else.
The superiority.
They have this. So there are certain aspects of Western thought which are uh, radically different. But you should learn how to distinguish between the two and then to see which is closer to the truth. That you have to do yourself.
Okay. So there's this thing too that we see differences in the education systems and in general the fields, because I think religion has a major part in that too, because it goes like the Western influences, they are more focused on the one God, while when we move to Asia, when we move to China and India, we see this culture which is very much prevalent of, as you mentioned earlier, sadhana, which inspires the person to find God within ourselves. So this was another question which was sprouting in my mind, and that was, how do you balance the logical, which is obviously the Western, like not.
You see, both are logical because they have their own logic.
Yes, sir.
Because both have their fundamental principles or concepts, and they develop a logical exposition of their concept. So you should understand the concept, and you should know what is what, and you should know how they are different. You should know how they have been the colonial powers and they have damaged our culture.
Yes.
And that there have been not just the Christian colonization. Before that, there was Islamic colonization for a much longer period. And that conflict still continues to this day in the Indian subcontinent. So, this difference of clash of civilization must be understood.
Okay.
And it must be understood that largely the world is divided between two camps. Those who worship an icon or a murti, and those who destroy the icon. It's a very, very factual situation. So we should not shy away from it. The kind of secularism which we have been taught in India for 70 years tries to shove things under the carpet. नहीं 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 लड़ाई हो जाएगी आप ऐसा बोलिए नहीं. Now this is small-mindedness. So we have been raised on this kind of a intellectual hesitation, or even I would say cowardice. You have to confront things what they are.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. As someone who taught English literature, sir, I'm very curious. Did it ever happen in your classroom that Kalidas, Shakespeare, Bharat Muni, and Aristotle, they all came up or were brought up all of a sudden at one instance?
Look, there are different classes. There are classes which are very simple level, where you are teaching a simple text. And you're, let's say, teaching a story by Thomas Hardy or Guy de Maupassant, and to a very low level student class, course. There you just talk about the story, but certain values of the story, certain skills of the story, literary devices. If you are talking at the MA level, then you can say, okay, these are the techniques and the principles of art and literature in European literature, whereas they are different from
the
Indian system. So there you can and you should make a comparison. And when you teach certain principles of what is kavya, literature, or poetry, then you should make it clear that this is how poetry is defined
Mm.
in the Indian tradition.
Okay.
Kavyam rasatmakam vakyam, right?
Yes, sir.
And then talk about the whole concept of rasa.
Rasa.
And theater is also a kind of a kavyeshu ramyam natyam,
Mm.
that in all kinds of poetry or literature, theater is the most attractive.
It sure is, sir. So you spent months in Greece researching about.
Not months, years.
Okay. So I'm so sorry. So you spent years in Greece
Yes.
researching their theatre. So did you find traces? They can be emotional or structural. Did you find traces of Natya Shastra there?
Look, let's put it the other way. Did I find, when I studied classical Greek theatre, did I find similarities with the Indian tradition or not?
Okay.
Now, I would say my lifetime work has been to prove that ancient Greek drama was much, much, much closer to ancient Indian drama than Renaissance European drama or even today European drama. The Europeans call their theatre Western, but it is not Western. It is something they revived by taking just a few things from the Greeks in this 16th, 17th century. And in this morning, I gave you a
Yes, sir.
complete detailed talk on that. So I have done that, and my book, Dramatic Concepts, Greek and Indian, which came out in 93. I'm sure you have it in your library because it's there all over the world, theater libraries. I give a detailed exposition of it. It's a 325-page book. Recently, it has been translated into Greek. And next year, I'm hoping that it will be published.
It sure will be, sir.
Yeah.
We really hope for that. Sir, how was it as an experience for you to serve at the Onassis Prize jury? You were there.
No, it was, oh, you mean, I was a fellow, Onassis fellow.
Okay.
You know, I was given a senior fellowship by Onassis Foundation to study ancient Greek drama. That was one way in which Onassis helped me. Another was being a jury on the International Drama Prize for Onassis.
The questions.
Yeah, so I have been on the jury for a couple of years. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So when you were there, so you saw Greece, the traditions, the dramatic traditions, and everything.
Well, when I was doing this fellowship, and also this was my personal investigation, I did a project for the Onassis fellowship. The project was how the Greeks, modern Greeks, revived their ancient drama from 1915 to 1995. So in this period of 70 years, how did they create a great revival of ancient drama in modern times? So then I studied how great theater directors and actors and actresses reconstructed it. You know, like Rondiris and Sicilianos, and there were very famous people in 1920, 30, 40. They did this revival. And it is still continuing, although it has lost its gusto now. And I hope it would revive again.
So you look forward to it if it ever comes around?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
But the rigor with which we could have done a revival of ancient Indian drama, that has not been done in India.
We need to look.
Yeah.
we need
You see, the Greeks, they made a revival of ancient Greek drama
Mm,
a nationalist project.
mm,
They defined their modern identity, Greek identity, as inheritors of
the ancient traditions.
inheritors of Ischylos and Euripides and all these people. Whereas we have not done that.
We need to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
I mean, we are not thinking of ourselves as inheritors of Kalidas and Bhavabhuti and other great playwrights, Shudrak,
we
etc.
hardly put an effort.
We have not done that. We have not
That's a
done.
drawback. Welcome back. This is segment 3. It will talk about art, music, and theatre. This segment to me is personally very magical because it talks about art, how it flows through life, through everybody's lives, how it's not just art, rather, it's the rhythm of life instead. Or we can also say that it indeed is life. Sir, in your book, Dramatic Concepts, Greek and Indian, you use this term, hieropraxis, which means sacred performance or sacred act. Sir, could you share it with our audience as to what this term means to you?
Thank you for this question. See, this is a combination of two words, eros or hieros, which means in Greek sacred. Sacred in the sense that it is related to gods. It's related to divine. And praxis means action. So we are doing an action. Theater is an action, a bodily and a movement in various parts of the body. And you construct a art form out of that. So this art form of theater, I have called hieropraxis or sacred performance, sacred action. Now, why have I called this? What is the reason for using it? Why is Shakespeare not exactly hieropraxis or Bertolt Brecht or say a very modern one? In ancient Greek theater, there was a constant presence of the divine as a force. And sometimes the gods became characters in it.
Yeah.
You see, for instance, there is a play called Hippolytos, in which, in the prologue, Aphrodite, or in Greek we'll say Aphrodite, she comes on the stage and says she is going to destroy the hero. Why? Because he is a brahmachari. Because he does not want any erotic life. He insults women, and therefore he insults me. I am the goddess of love, Eros. So I don't want such a man alive. And that's what happens in the play.
We see that in Iliad too.
Yes, then the whole story of Hippolytus is that he is killed. So the divine is part of the action of the play. The play is talking about the terrestrial world, in which you have terrestrial characters and divine characters.
Yes.
Now, the Greeks wrote that kind of theater. In India also we wrote that kind of theater. The Greeks wrote only 3 forms: tragedy, comedy, and satire. We wrote about 10 kinds of plays, and then those 10 became another 10, Uprupaka, etc. So we showed, like the Greeks, presence of divine characters, devatas. They come on the stage or they communicate on the stage through some other agency. So, theater is not about just terrestrial characters. It is about characters of the lower world, it's about the characters of the upper world, all three worlds. Trailokya. When they say Trailokya, three worlds, they mean all the three worlds. So it is talking about the universe as a whole and showing action in the whole universe. Therefore, it is sacred theater.
Okay.
And that is what I have described in that book. Ancient Greek theater as sacred theater, ancient Indian theater as sacred theater.
Sir, both Greek tragedy and Indian Natya, they were born through like rituals or as rituals, right? So, do you think that modern theater, to a very large extent or to some extent, has lost that ritualistic essence?
See, modern theater, as I told you this morning, starts around 16th, 17th century. And it concentrates on the human world. And they all say that this is the rise of humanism. Man becomes the center of the universe.
The divine is at the periphery.
And the divine is at the periphery. In Shakespeare's world, there is divine, but very far back. And as you come in 20th century, then the divine absolutely disappears, and you have only secular concerns and sociological problems. So by the time you come to George Bernard Shaw, you're talking about social life of courtesans and prostitutes, or pronunciation, or various other social conflicts. And that continues. Then theater takes a turn. You come back to existential questions, Waiting for Godot, absurdism, and other movements, because then you don't want to get involved just with humanism. But Marxist theater, on the other hand, continues with only human world. They want a good world, but human only, in which there is no God, because that is dialectical materialism. There is no God. So it's only matter.
Yes.
So these are the philosophical foregroundings of different theaters.
Sir, you have translated Natya Shastra's 28th chapter. During the throughout the process of it, and during the process of it, did you notice, or maybe from your experience, what does it reveal to you about the nature of Indian aesthetics?
Well, the 28th chapter is very specifically upon scales of music. Music. It's not about theater as a whole, but Natya Shastra is about theater as a whole, and chapters 28, 29, 30, 31, 33, even 32, they are about musical content in theater. So you have to understand the whole world of theater and read the other chapters also. You have to treat the book as a whole. I studied and I was taught by my great guru Acharya Brihaspati. The 28th and other chapters, music chapters mostly, or rather only, but then I studied the whole. And I got an understanding of what is the Natya Shastra and how you have to study a text. We can't study a classical Indian text the same way we study a Greek text or a European text. There is another method of studying. And that method you have to learn from a traditional guru. That is not taught in universities. It can't be, because there are no students. So I consider myself very fortunate that I had traditional gurus teaching me, and I had Western gurus teaching me. I am a disciple of the founder of media studies in this world, Marshall McLuhan. I think I'm the only disciple alive. Others are gone.
Sir, could you explain how Nad Rasa, along with like
How Nada
Nad and Rasa,
and Rasa.
how Nad and Rasa and the soul they connect?
And they both connect.
Yeah, how Nad
You
and
see,
Rasa and the soul.
Nad specifically is a philosophic system which says that everything in this world is made out of Nad.
Okay.
Nadatmakam Jagat.
Mm.
That this creation, Jagat is creation,
Mm.
that this creation is made out of Nad. Now, what does Nad mean? On one level, Nad means sound,
Mm.
which we hear through our
Ears.
That is Nada. Then there is another sound which is called Anahatanad, that which cannot be heard
Mm.
by the human ear, which is also a vibration.
Mm.
And that is the cosmic vibration,
Mm.
that is the fundamental vibration which brings into creation
Mm.
this whole universe. That is called the Anahat Nada.
Mm.
And both are interconnected. Now, Anahat Nada is the big reality.
Mm.
In order to grasp that, you go through the smaller reality of Nada,
Mm.
music.
Mm.
So, music leads you to the ultimate truth. This is the philosophy. And this is the interconnection.
Okay. So, what role does Rasa play in here?
Rasa means that which delights,
The essence.
but
Mm.
it delights through a very specific instrument.
Mm.
So, I mean, you can be delighted by drinking orange juice also.
Mm-hmm.
You are delighted by the Kavya Rasa. You are delighted by the Yogic Rasa, Brahmananda. So, there are stages of
Rasa.
experience of Rasa. But Raso Vaisaha,
Mm.
the ultimate Saha is Rasa. So, this is again the unity, just as Ahat and Anahat Nath form a unity.
Mm.
Similarly, different kinds of rasas, including physical delight
Mm.
through the physical senses, they constitute the whole spectrum of rasa.
Okay. So, can we say that they're like yin and yang for the soul?
Look, yin and yang, I don't know much about it. They are a specific definition of the two principles of the universe, the male and the female.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know much about the Chinese doctrine of yin and yang.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they are similar to Shiva and Shakti
Yeah.
as it stands in India.
Like, from my perspective, the reference was of the fact that there are two pieces which fit perfectly together, which complete each other.
Yes, that is the Shiva Shakti concept also.
That-
Shiva Shaktya yukto yadi bhavati shaktaha prabhavitum. If Shiva is united with Shakti, then only it is able to move.
Mm.
Otherwise, it
Becomes
stays where it is dead.
stationary. Sir, on a personal note, when you sit to play sitar or surbahar, does it feel to you that your scholarship and your art merge in that moment?
You see, life consists of many things together.
Mm.
They happen together,
Mm-hmm.
and at moments they happen
Mm.
separately in isolation.
Mm.
So, scholarship means when you analyze something, when you intellectually examine,
Mm.
and rasanubhuti is when you experience the art form.
Mm.
So, there is a delight of scholarship also,
Mm-hmm.
but that Shastra is about a practical art
Mm.
form.
Mm.
So when you experience that art form, then you have direct experience to rasa. But when you study the Shastra, then you understand how that art form is created, disciplined, brought into being, practiced, transmitted. That is the discipline of that art. So this is the difference between Shastra and Prayog. Prayog is the art.
Welcome back. This is segment 4 of the same podcast, and this segment is called Cultural Reflections and Responsibilities. Here we will talk with Professor as to what he feels about the culture, the traditions, the art, and how to which extent the younger generations are carrying it forward, or how should we as a nation or as a generation carry it forward? How far have we reached, and how far we still have to go? Sir, you have spoken a lot about India's cultural revival. So, considering or looking at the current state of our nation, though you have earlier mentioned that we haven't done much, but when you see us as a nation, how do you see it? Like, how far do you think we have come with like the revival, the way Greeks did it? Or
if you talk of cultural revival, not much has happened. Many people would not like to hear this. But in my opinion, that's the truth. However, whatever may have been the reasons, we have now to really work hard for it. Now, why is it that it has not happened? We can look upon a couple reasons. We started when we became independent with an education system which was rooted in socialist modernity. And in Nehru's time and in Nehru's mind, modernity was something which was contrary to parampara or tradition or cultural values of India. So Nehru and his government and his bureaucracy and the kind of people he employed to create an education system, they were concentrating on either American ideas or British ideas or Russian ideas, socialist ideas. So this was the disjunct. That's why we left ourselves behind in the race. Because for cultural revival, you cannot take the values of another culture. It has to be your own culture, your own identity. And in India, people want you to be Indian. I mean, the whole world is looking for you to become Indian. And here we have the first Prime Minister of India who prided himself in being a Kala Angrez. So this has been the problem. Now, whatever has happened has happened. We have not been able to remedy that. There are several reasons for it. The most important is that we have not made a national big effort. Just as we have made an effort to have lots of new airports and our Vikas Yatra, we have not done a Sanskriti Yatra.
True.
So, Vikas, very good, fine, it has prepared grounds for a good material life, but life should now become rasatmak, it should become gracious, it should become full of aesthetic experience, which is not isolating yourself into some kind of snootiness or artistic superiority, no, which is to make yourself more sensitive, vinamra, to bow before others, to not be arrogant.
To be somewhere, as we say.
Yes, to learn, to feel that you are a small part of the vast universe.
Mm.
If you understand that, then you will also be humble towards your fellow human beings, not just human beings, other creatures of the world. So I think art teaches you the best values of life. That's why our ancestors, our rishis, our shastrakaras, our philosophers, munis, they gave us these shastras. They gave us all these disciplines. Shastra means a discipline of a particular practice or art or science. So we have to go into that, spend time on it, bring it in our education system. Now we are reviving Indian knowledge system, IKS. That's just another English word for Shastra. Bhai, aur kya hai? IKS is just Shastra. You are studying all the Shastras in the rubric of Indian knowledge system. But just because we are adopting the English language again and again, we have used the term IKS. That's all. But in reality, it is Shastrachar. In reality, it is study of the Shastra. And Shastra is not contrary to Loka or common practices of the people. It incorporates them.
It's inclusive of everyone.
It is an inclusive thing of that which is practiced by the common man. And as I explained this morning, that everything which is done by the common man is part of creativity of Shastra. Yeah.
Okay. Sir, you helped initiate the Ram Mandir in Ashok Vihar, and you also co-founded IFH. So, what inspired you to turn thought into this tangible approach?
Well, the Ram Mandir in Ashok Vihar was conceived by the people of the Ashok Vihar. They wanted to make a temple. And I suggested that why make just one more ordinary shrine, 12 feet by 40 feet square with a series of Devi Devatas in it. Why not make a traditional Shilpa Shastra temple? And it was God's will that everybody liked the idea. And so it was initiated. And after 43 years, it was 2 years ago consecrated and completed as a project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sir, many say that tradition can sometimes be very exclusive or very rigid. So
that's the view of Western anthropologists, because they look upon the whole world as the other, something which is not us.
Orientalism.
Well, Orientalism is one literary term which is used by Edward Said to describe how the British and the French were thinking of the Muslims. But that's a very small part of the colonial approach. I don't think we should be bothered about that whole Orientalism, because they have been looking at everybody, American Indians, African inhabitants, Indians living in Chinese, as people to be studied, manipulated, defined, redefined, converted, etc., etc.
I use the term Orientalism because you said they had this perspective of seeing us or seeing traditions.
Yes, but when Said was writing Orientalism, he was not thinking of India.
He sure wasn't. And
He was thinking of the Middle East. He was thinking of Islam. And he wanted, the whole book is about Islam and how the Islamic people were reportrayed by the European anthropologists and theorists.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's this one line which we are taught when we study theory, and that says that the West had this notion that East is everything they are not.
Yeah, these are some of the
Yeah.
stereotypes, East is East, West is West, the twain shall
The
never
divide was
meet.
created and everything.
Yeah, all those things.
Okay.
Although there is a truth to that, because as I told you earlier, the world is divided into Murti worshippers and Murti breakers.
Yes, sir.
So that's the truth of it. And we have somehow to recognize that, admit that, and seek a solution.
Okay. Sir, what is your view on this particular thing? Like, how important you think it is for the younger students or the younger generation in general to study Natya Shastra, or to study Natya Shastra or the Upanishads? What are your views on that?
Look, there are two different things. Upanishads is Brahma Vidya. And Natya Shastra is the science or the art of theater. Now, you study theater for a better life, for a better understanding of your material world. That's what we have been talking about, how art improves our living. Upanishad is when we go within, when we have withdrawn from the outer world. So that is the fourth purusharth or the fourth pursuit, moksha, after dharma, artha, and kama. But the material world, the civilizational space, the cultural entity, all this belongs to the world of Natya Shastra. All of this. So Natya Shastra is talking about making this world beautiful, looking at it, understanding it, and how it leads to the higher idea. Because you see, dharma, artha, kama, moksha are all pursued at the same time, not just one after another. There may be stages of life or ashramas, but they are pursued at the same time with a holistic understanding. So Natya Shastra must be understood in terms of how they lead to the fulfillment of all the four aims of life, dharma, artha, kama, moksha.
Okay.
And it is for the betterment of the world.
Okay.
It is for restoration of values. This is what the first chapter of Natya says very clearly. So it is a highly moralistic, educational purpose.
So it
Theater.
can be explored by the younger generation.
Right.
Okay. Sir, do you still believe that art still has the healing power to heal societies the way it used to do in ancient times?
Say that again. Art has the power?
The power to heal societies the way it had it back in ancient times.
Do you need a proof for it? I mean, people throng to theater or film. Film is theater because it is just a medium is different. So it has a power to heal. People want to do it. You see, what is the greatest quality of art? Those things which are unpleasant in life are made pleasant in art. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to have a fight with anybody. But I enjoy that in theater. I like to see a fight. I like to be sad. I like to shed tears. Not in my life, but in my theater hall. So art makes that which is overpowering unpleasant
Mm.
in actual living experience into something
Something which is
which can be understood
understood.
and dealt with and even enjoyed.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome back to the fifth segment. Here we'll be talking about awards and recognition. This is the segment where we will talk about humility, recognition, and the quiet light that keeps a teacher's journey going. Sir, in last few years, you have been awarded with Padma Shri Award.
Yes, just this year in February or so.
You were awarded with Padma Shri, and
Padma
then
Shri.
you have also been awarded by with like Sangeet Natak Akademi Award.
No, it is not Sangeet Natak Academy. It is Sangeet Natak Ratna Sadasya. It's a higher award called Sangeet Natak Academy Fellow.
Okay.
It's not a fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
I am a fellow.
Mm.
It's given to the topmost people in the field in the country.
As the name suggests,
Yes.
Sadasya.
Ratna Sadasya.
True. So you have been
And my
awarded-
guru, Acharya Brihaspati, was also awarded with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have been awarded with the Sangeet Natak
Ratna Sadasyata.
Ratna
Yeah.
Sadasyata. Sir, they are immense recognitions and very well deserved. When you get such awards, what goes through your mind? Like, do they feel like a validation, or are they quiet reminders, or maybe grand reminders of the work which is already present and
Well,
which is deeply appreciated?
at a personal level, it is great satisfaction that uh, that you are recognized nationally for something which is valuable to you,
Mm.
pursuit of art and artistic studies.
Mm.
So it is a very great validation of the work.
Mhm.
Then there is the feeling of gratefulness
Mm.
to the nation, to the government for recognizing that work.
Mm.
And the last thing is that there is also an inner compulsion
Mm.
that one should give more.
Mm.
See?
Okay. And of all the works you have, come up with, is there any one particular work which you personally hold very close to your soul?
Well, you see, a person does many kinds of things, and all of them are not equally valuable.
Mm.
And most of the things you do will just be forgotten.
Mm.
But some one or two things will perhaps be forgotten indeed, but they'll take a little time to be forgotten. So I think my book, Dramatic Concepts, Greek and Indian, is a very original work.
Very sacred.
And it is original in the sense that it has broken the stereotype that Greek drama is Western drama.
Mm.
And I have lectured on it in the whole of Greece and England and Americas and Canada and so various places.
Mm.
And majority of people have accepted my ideas.
Okay.
It's the book came out in '94, so it's been a very long time.
Sure has been.
And it has been reprinted 6 times.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Now, before we move on to our next segment, we'll pause again. Next segment is about the contemporary relevance and personal thoughts on art and literature. Welcome back to our final segment. The world around us is changing very quickly, and now we shall understand what perspectives does Professor hold on several questions which I have. Sir, in this digital era, how do you see, how do you see that the classical aesthetics, they are surviving, they're trying to survive, or maybe if we see it from a different perspective, they are probably trying to guide the modern society too. So what are your views on that?
You see, the digital world is just an addition to the media. Throughout history, you find that there have been certain kinds of mediums or media very early, like you would scratch a rock and do some painting, then you would carve sacred letters or hieroglyphs on it. That was another media. Then writing on bhurjapatra or leather, that's another media. So media keeps changing. But knowledge is expressed again and again through that's different media. The same knowledge or that treasure house of knowledge is re-expressed. So after the manuscript, we came into the book of print. After print, we came into film. From film, we came into television. From television, we came into laptop. From laptop, we came into this,
smartphones.
Handphone, what you call I don't know what's this.
A smartphone.
Smartphone. So now we are waiting for something else, which will happen, we don't know when. 20 years, 20 years, or 50 years. But each medium changes the distribution of knowledge. The way knowledge is distributed, that changes with every medium. And it associates a class of people with it. But knowledge remains the same. And the struggle for using and misusing that knowledge also remains.
It does.
See, this has been like in Amrit Manthan, the Danavas and the Asuras, they wanted to take away the Amrit. And Vishnu prevented them from doing it. So it's the same thing. Some people want to steal the digital knowledge and misuse it. This struggle will go on, no matter what medium is invented. Yes.
Sir, you have studied both Aristotle and Bharat Muni. So, how far do you think modern writers, filmmakers, or dramatists can learn from them? Or how much can they learn from them?
See, artists have been learning from them for over 2,000 years. So just as their predecessors have been learning, the present day artists will learn, and the artists of the future will learn, because these books talk about fundamental questions, perennial questions. They are the anchor sheet for that.
True. Sir, how do you define beauty, like from your personal perspective, like the beauty of life or the beauty of nature, the beauty word itself? Like, is it through intellect, through heart?
No, you see, beauty is an English word. And the Greek word for it is kalos. So, fine art is called kalitechni. So, that which gives you a feeling of elevation, that which reconciles and brings a sense of delight, that is beauty or kalitechni. And that which resolves the inner conflicts of human beings and brings peace is that beauty. So in the Western tradition, in the English tradition, you call it beauty, and it is related more to a form of an art. In the Indian tradition, it is the deeper experience, the bhava, in which the bhava itself turns into rasa. This is it. So, in the Greek tradition, there was this whole idea of tasting something very good. There was the Greek word yepsis or taste for it. Similarly, in India, we have tasting, rasaswadana.
True.
The Greeks also talked about catharsis, that is,
Mm.
resolving the conflict between emotions which are disturbing and emotions which are calm. And in the Indian system also we had similar observations.
Sir, what advice would you give to young students who are learning, students like us who wish to connect on a broader level, or they wish to learn beyond boundaries? Any advice?
You say this beyond boundaries is a catchy phrase.
Okay.
It means nothing.
Okay.
There are good things to learn in life. There are good traditions, good practices, and bad practices.
Okay.
So avoid the bad and the crude and the harmful. Now, that is found both in East and in West or in the center, all kinds of things. Geography does not matter. What matters is it teaching you something that improves your life, which has the elevation? You see, art is for elevation. Art is not for wallowing into something very sensory or something very trivial. It is for rising.
Yes.
And if that happens, pursue it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a constant pursuit, a disciplined pursuit that art requires. Art is not fun.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not fun. It's a lot of perspiration.
It's sadhana, as you said earlier.
It's sadhana.
Sure, sir. Sir, this is like the last question for this session. It's very close to me personally. Sir, this question is कि if Aristotle and Bharat Muni ever came together on a cup of tea, what do you think are the things they would cheerfully agree on, and what are the things they might disagree upon?
Well, you read my book and it's all given there. And maybe one day I'll write a dialogue between the two. They're sitting in the Elysium fields and talking. But my book makes it very clear in great detail. Fundamental concepts of Bharat Muni and Aristotle are very, very similar. And most of them are identical. That's why there is a great connection between the two ancient arts. Okay. Sir, I cannot thank you enough for giving your precious time to this conversation. It was an enlightening conversation with Padma Shri Professor Bharat Gupta sir. And we will get back with another podcast, with another set of questions, with another enlightening experience. Please stay tuned. Thank you. Thank you indeed. I'm very delighted, although I'm a little perspired also by the long questions, but thank you. Thank you so much, sir.